Hello everyone, and welcome back to SpeakCast English. This is your daily English listening practice podcast, Mini Story English, where we bring you real-life stories to boost your English skills.
And today, Andrew, we have a story that I think many of our listeners can relate to. It's all about returning an item, explaining defects and asking for a refund, a topic that can make anyone a little nervous.
Absolutely, Ava. And our main character today, Alex, definitely felt that nervousness. In fact, at one point, he was standing there, heart pounding, and he just said, "Look, this item is clearly defective, and I need a full refund."
Whoa. Wait a minute. Alex said that? To whom? That sounds incredibly direct for him. I thought Alex was usually quite reserved.
He is. That's exactly why it was such a big moment. He usually avoids any kind of confrontation, even small ones. He'd rather just let things go, you know?
Oh, I can totally imagine. So, what happened? Did he actually get the refund? I'm already on the edge of my seat. Andrew, you can't just drop a bomb like that and not tell us.
Chuckles. Well, that's the whole story we're going to unravel today. It's all about his journey of returning a faulty item, clearly explaining a defect, and finding his voice.
I love it. So, tell us, what was this mysterious item? Was it something really expensive?
Not super expensive, but important to him. It was a brand new coffee maker. He loves his morning coffee, you see. He bought it last week from a big electronics store downtown.
Ah, a coffee maker. That's a daily essential for many. I can understand why he'd be upset if it didn't work.
Exactly. He was so excited when he bought it. He even told me he spent a good hour researching different models online before choosing this one. He wanted the perfect cup every morning.
A true coffee enthusiast. So, he brought it home, unboxed it, probably cleaned it, and then, what happened?
Well, he followed all the instructions. He filled the water tank, put in the coffee grounds, pressed the brew button, and nothing. Or, almost nothing.
Almost nothing? What do you mean? Did it make a strange noise? Did it just sit there silently?
It made a very sad, gurgling sound, Ava. Like it was trying its best, but just couldn't quite manage. A few drops of lukewarm, brownish water came out, and then it just stopped. Dead.
Oh no. That's so disappointing. I'd be so frustrated. What was Alex's first reaction? Did he immediately think, I need to return this?
Not at all. That's the interesting part. His first reaction was actually to blame himself. He thought, did I do something wrong? Did I read the instructions incorrectly?
Oh, I do that sometimes too. Especially with new gadgets. You always think it's user error first.
Right? So, he tried again. He unplugged it, waited a few minutes, plugged it back in. He reread the manual, step by step. He even watched a YouTube video of someone using the same model.
Wow, he really put in the effort. So, after all that, did it work?
Nope. Same sad gurgle, same few drops, then silence. That's when the disappointment really set in. He realized it wasn't him, it was the machine.
So, then he decided to return it?
Not immediately. He actually left it on his kitchen counter for 2 whole days. Just looking at it, feeling a bit defeated. He told me he kept thinking, do I really have to go back to the store? It's such a hassle.
I completely understand that feeling. Returning things can be such a chore, especially if you're not a fan of talking to customer service.
Exactly. And Alex, as we know, is not a fan of confrontation. He was imagining the whole scenario in his head. Explaining the problem, maybe the store staff questioning him, feeling like he was bothering them.
So, what finally pushed him to go? Was it the thought of no morning coffee?
Partially, yes. But also, he realized he had paid good money for it. He deserved a working coffee maker. He said he finally told himself, this isn't right. I need to stand up for myself.
Good for him. That's a big step for someone who usually avoids these situations. So, he packed up the coffee maker?
Yes, he carefully put it back in its original box, with all the packaging and the receipt. He even wrote down a few bullet points of what was wrong with it, just so he wouldn't forget.
Oh, that's smart. I should do that more often. It's easy to get flustered and forget details when you're talking to someone.
Definitely. So, he headed to the store. He told me the whole way there, his heart was pounding.
Ah, heart pounding. That's a great phrase. What does it mean exactly, Andrew?
Well, when your heart is pounding, it means your heart is beating very fast and hard. You can often feel it in your chest. It's a physical reaction to strong emotions, usually nervousness, fear, or excitement.
So, in Alex's case, it was definitely nervousness. He was feeling anxious about the return.
Exactly. He was nervous about the conversation, about explaining the problem, about the possible reaction from the store staff. His heart was pounding because he was anticipating a difficult situation.
Can you give us another example of how we might use heart pounding?
Sure. Imagine you're about to give a big presentation at work. You might say, before I walked onto the stage, my heart was pounding. Or if you're watching a scary movie, during the suspenseful scene, my heart was pounding.
Got it. So, it's a very vivid way to describe feeling intense emotion, especially nervousness or excitement.
Precisely. So, Alex walks into the store, heart pounding. He finds the customer service desk. There's a short line. He waits, rehearsing his bullet points in his head.
Oh, the waiting is always the worst part, isn't it? It gives you more time to overthink everything.
It really does. Finally, it's his turn. He approaches the counter, puts the box down. A young man, probably in his early 20s, is behind the counter.
Okay, so, what did Alex say first? Did he just blurt out, "It's broken"?
No, he tried to be polite. He started with, "Excuse me, I bought this coffee maker here last week, and I'm afraid it's not working correctly."
That's a good, calm start. How did the employee react?
The employee, let's call him Mark, looked at the box, then at Alex, and just said, "Okay. What's wrong with it?" Very flat, very unenthusiastic.
Oh, that's not very encouraging, is it? It makes you feel like you're bothering them.
It really does. Alex said he felt his confidence start to drop immediately. He tried to explain, "Well, I plug it in, and it makes a gurgling sound, but no coffee comes out. Just a few drops of cold water."
And what did Mark say to that?
Mark just nodded slowly, picked up the box, and started looking for the receipt. He asked, "Do you have your receipt?"
Of course, the receipt. Always important.
Alex handed it over. Mark scanned it, then looked at the coffee maker again. He said, "Did you try plugging it into a different outlet? Sometimes it's the power source."
Oh, that's a classic troubleshooting question. But Alex already tried that, right?
He did. He explained, "Yes, I tried 3 different outlets in my kitchen, and even one in the living room. Same result every time."
So, he was prepared for that question. Good for him.
He was. But Mark still seemed unconvinced. He said, and did you make sure the water tank was full? And the coffee filter was incorrectly?"
Oh, come on. Alex is not a beginner with coffee makers. He's a coffee enthusiast.
Exactly what Alex was thinking. He felt a wave of frustration. He calmly replied, "Yes, I followed all the instructions in the manual, step by step. I even watched a video online. It's just not brewing."
I can feel his frustration building. He's trying to be polite, but the employee isn't really listening or helping.
That's exactly how Alex felt. He said he could feel his face getting a little warm. Mark then said, "Well, sometimes these things just need a reset. Did you try unplugging it for a few hours and then trying again?"
A few hours? That's a long time to wait for a coffee maker that's supposed to work right out of the box.
Alex thought the same thing. He took a deep breath. He said he almost just gave up at that point, thinking, maybe I should just buy a new one somewhere else.
Oh, no. He came all this way. He can't give up now.
He almost did. But then he remembered how much he wanted that perfect morning coffee, and how unfair it was that he had a broken machine. He looked at Mark, who was now just staring at the coffee maker with a blank expression.
This is the moment, isn't it? The moment where he finds his voice.
It is. He straightened up, took another deep breath, and that's when he said it. He looked Mark directly in the eye and said, "Look, this item is clearly defective, and I need a full refund."
Wow. That's quite a shift in tone. From polite explanations to a very direct statement.
It was. And that brings us to our second useful phrase, clearly defective.
Ah, clearly defective. What does that phrase mean, Andrew?
When something is clearly defective, it means it has a fault or a problem that is obvious and undeniable. It's not working as it should, and it's easy to see or prove that it's broken or faulty.
So, it's not just broken, but clearly defective, emphasizes that there's no doubt about the problem. It's not a misunderstanding or a small issue.
Exactly. It's a strong way to state that the item is not fit for its purpose. Alex used it to cut through the employee's questions and make his point firmly. He was saying, there's no debate here, this machine is broken.
I see. So, if my new phone screen had a big crack on it, I could say, this phone is clearly defective.
Perfect example. Or if a new toy doesn't make any sound when it's supposed to, you could say, this toy is clearly defective. It leaves no room for argument.
That's a really useful phrase for situations like this, when you need to be firm and clear.
Absolutely. So, Alex used that phrase, look, this item is clearly defective, and I need a full refund.
How did Mark react to that directness? Did he get defensive?
Mark actually seemed a little surprised. He blinked a few times, and his whole demeanor changed. He stopped looking bored and started looking a bit more serious.
So, being direct actually worked.
It did. Mark then said, a full refund, you say? Alex just nodded, holding his gaze. Mark then sighed, picked up the coffee maker again, and went to the back of the counter.
What was he doing back there? Was he going to test it?
He was. He plugged it in, pressed the button, and Alex watched as Mark's face registered the same sad gurgle and lack of coffee. Mark tried it twice, just like Alex had.
Ha. So, he saw it for himself. That must have been satisfying for Alex.
Alex said it was incredibly satisfying. Mark came back to the counter, looking a bit sheepish. He said, you're right. It's not working at all. I apologize for the trouble.
Oh, finally. An apology. That's what Alex deserved from the beginning.
Definitely. And that brings us to our third key phrase from Alex's story. I need a full refund.
A full refund. That's pretty straightforward, but let's break it down.
When you ask for a full refund, you are asking for all the money you paid for the item to be returned to you. Not a partial refund, not store credit, but the entire amount.
So, it's about getting all your money back, no less.
Exactly. It's a clear and direct request for your money back because the item is faulty or not as described. Alex wasn't asking for a replacement, he wanted his money back.
Why do you think he specifically asked for a full refund, instead of just a refund?
Good question. Adding full emphasizes that he expects to receive every penny he spent. Sometimes, stores might offer a partial refund or suggest store credit, but Alex wanted to make it clear he expected all his money back. It leaves no room for ambiguity.
So, if I bought a shirt for $20 and it was damaged, I'd say, I need a full refund for this shirt.
Perfect. Or if you ordered food that was completely wrong, you could say, this order is incorrect, I'd like a full refund, please. It's a very common and useful phrase in customer service situations.
Great. So, Alex said, look, this item is clearly defective, and I need a full refund. Mark saw the problem for himself. What happened next?
Mark then processed the refund. He took Alex's card, swiped it, and handed him a receipt. He said, the refund should appear in your account within 3 to 5 business days. Again, I'm really sorry about this.
Success. Alex must have felt a huge wave of relief.
He told me he felt like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders. His heart was still pounding, but this time it was from relief and a little bit of triumph. He had stood up for himself, and it had worked.
That's a fantastic outcome. So, what did he do after that? Did he just leave the store?
He did. He walked out of the store feeling much lighter. He said the fresh air felt amazing. He even allowed himself a small smile.
And did he buy another coffee maker?
Not right away. He decided to take a break from coffee maker shopping for a day or two. He wanted to enjoy the feeling of accomplishment first. But he did eventually buy a new one, from a different brand, and it works perfectly.
That's a happy ending. So, Alex learned a valuable lesson about speaking up.
He absolutely did. He told me that experience taught him that it's okay to be direct and firm when you're in the right, especially when you've tried to be polite first. It gave him a lot more confidence.
That's a wonderful story, Andrew. It's not just about returning an item, but about finding your voice.
Exactly. And I think many of our listeners can relate to that feeling of nervousness when facing a situation like this.
I certainly can. It's always a bit intimidating. But Alex's story shows us that it's worth it to speak up.
It really is. So, to help our listeners practice these useful phrases, let's do a quick shadowing moment.
Excellent idea. Listen carefully and try to repeat after us.
First, heart pounding.
Heart pounding.
My heart was pounding.
My heart was pounding.
Next, clearly defective.
Clearly defective.
This item is clearly defective.
This item is clearly defective.
And finally, full refund.
Full refund.
I need a full refund.
I need a full refund.
Great job, everyone. Practice those phrases, and you'll feel more confident in similar situations.
Before we finish, let's do a quick recap of today's main ideas and the most useful phrases.
Today, we heard Alex's story about returning a faulty coffee maker. He felt nervous, his heart was pounding, but he found the courage to explain that the item was clearly defective and asked for a full refund.
His experience shows us the importance of being clear and direct when you have a problem with a product, and that it's okay to stand up for yourself.
Pick one or two expressions and try them in real life today, even in a very short conversation.
For example, if you're feeling a bit nervous about something, you could tell a friend, "My heart is pounding."
Or if you see something that's obviously broken, you could think to yourself, "That's clearly defective."
And if you ever need to return something, remember Alex's courage and ask for a full refund, if that's what you need.
Thank you for listening today. We hope this mini story helped you practice real English.
Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with your favorite phrase from today.
Before we finish, let's do a quick recap of today's main ideas and the most useful phrases.
Pick one or two expressions and try them in real life today, even in a very short conversation.
You've been listening to SpeakCast English. Thanks for practicing with us, and see you next time on SpeakCast English.